Good morning, students. Today we will start with chapter 15, Introduction to Graphs. First, we will start with the introduction. What is a graph? The graphs are the visual representation of the data collected in numerical form so that it could be easily understood. Graphs are generally used for comparison between two or more data. So what is graph exactly? Graph is a visual representation of data collected in numerical form. So your marks, terminal marks or monthly marks, so that are data that is collected in a numerical form. If we are representing it in a visual representation form, that means marks you have got in first term, second term or the annuals. So if we are representing it in a visual form, then that will be known as graph. It is basically used for comparison between two or more data. By looking at the graph, you can easily compare what is your marks in first term compared to, what is your mark in second term compared to a first term. So this way it will be easy for you to understand your graph, how you are growing or how you are achieving your goals or not through the marks. Through the graph you can easily identify that. So it is basically used for comparison between two or more data. Now the types of graph. What are the types? First is a bar graph. A bar graph is used to show comparison among categories. It may consist of two or more parallel vertical bars. So this can be explained through an example. This type of graph is known as bar graph, where marks in max is given here. Marks is given 10 to 70 are the marks, and terms, first term, second term and third term. What were the marks of max in first term, second term and third term of a student? So it is easily understood from the graph that in first term the student has got 30 marks, in second the student has got 50, and in third the student has got 70 marks. So through the graph, bar graph, you can easily compare marks that the student has got in first, second and third, and how it is getting progressed in each term. Now how the bar graph is represented? It is represented through parallel vertical bars. This is parallel vertical bars and two bar will have a distance between them. So this way a bar graph is constructed and it is used for comparison among categories. Then second is our double bar graph. It is similar to bar graph, only two bars will be drawn side by side. This is the only difference between bar and double bar graph. This is same as bar graph, but two types of data are shown here simultaneously. Simultaneously two datas will be shown. This type of graph is used to show a comparison between two data. Here I will be showing it through an example what is double bar graph exactly. Here list of fruits are given, that is mango, oranges, apples and bananas, and here in the y-axis the number of kgs that the mangoes and oranges and apples have been sold on Monday and on Tuesday. So first we will take of mango. On Monday, mango sale was of 20 kg and on Tuesday it was of 25 kg. So a growth of 5 kgs is more. So 5 kgs more the seller has sold from Monday to Tuesday. So this can be easily identified through this graph. So here we have compared two data, that is selling number of kgs of mango from Monday to Tuesday. Same way oranges, on Monday it was 10 kgs were sold and on Tuesday it is in between, that means 15 kgs were sold. So likewise, by drawing bar graph, two bars side by side simultaneously, we are able to compare two datas. And here different designs are drawn so that we can compare. One is for Monday and other is for Tuesday. We have to draw other different designs so that it is easily understood the data, what the data has to say. So this is double bar graph where two data bars are drawn simultaneously to compare two datas. Third one is a pie graph or a circle graph. A pie graph is used to compare parts of a whole. The circle represents the whole. So, pie graph, or the name itself says circle graph. This is an example I have taken where it shows the percentage of viewers watching different types of TV channels. So here this is a whole circle. From that, 10% of the people love to watch informative channels, 15% watches news channels, 25% watches sports channels, and 50% watches entertainment channels. So a whole is a circle, and the parts that is shown is the comparison between two datas, and every data is represented using different designs like this. So a pie graph is used to compare parts of a whole, and it is also the circle represents the whole. This whole circle will represent as one whole, and the parts are telling us the comparison between two datas. So that is pie graph, also known as circle graph. Fourth one is histogram. A histogram is a bar graph that shows data in intervals. It has adjacent bars over the intervals. So here, what is histogram? It shows intervals, like data in intervals. What here is an example of number of people and their weight. Okay, so their weight is given in intervals, like from 40 to 45 kg. How many people is under this this weight group? That is 4 number of people. So this is basically an interval, and an histogram is always represented by this, and adjacent bars are drawn over the intervals. Weight from 40 to 45, 4 number of people is under this weight group, that is 40 to 45. Now from 45 to 50 kgs, 10 people are there. Then 50 to 55 kgs, 14 number of people are under this weight group. Then 55 to 60, 8 number of people are there in this weight group, and 60 to 65, 6 number of people are there in this weight group. So an histogram is a graph that shows data in intervals. These are the intervals: 40 to 45, 45 to 55. This is known as intervals. And how it is drawn? It is drawn adjacent to each other. This is drawn adjacent to each other, and this 0 to 40 we will show it in interval, because the weight starts from 40 onwards. So we have to show this like this while drawing a histogram graph. Now fifth is a line graph. What is a line graph? A line graph displays data that changes continuously over periods of time. So line graph is displaying data which is continuously changing over a period of time. So here we have taken an example of temperature and time. How as the time is passing, how the temperatures are getting changed, that is shown through this graph, a line graph. So here at 6 a.m. the temperature was 36, and at 10 a.m. the temperature has increased to 40 degree. Now the temperature at 2 o'clock is 38 degree. Then as it is going down, that is by evening 6 o'clock, the temperature is 34 degree. So how a line graph, it displays data that changes continuously over a period of time. One of the example is temperature. So temperature is changing every time, every hourly or secondly basis, the temperature is changing. So line graph basically shows us the data that changes continuously.